Welcome, everyone. We'll give you all a few minutes to get in the room. It's a beautiful day to be at the beach, so I'm at the beach today. I hope it's beautiful where you are.
Lucky you.
We're waiting for just a few more people to get in the room. Can you see my screen?
Yes. I mean, I can just see the Zoom. Oh, Sarah Rose raised hand. Do you see that, Barbara?
No, I'll look at that in a little bit. All right, it looks like everybody's in the room. Welcome. Thank you for coming. It's great to see so many people here today. Today's webinar is brought to you by MCSC Women's Business Center. We're a nonprofit business center serving entrepreneurs in SLO, Kern, and Monterey counties. We offer small business, no cost, one-on-one business consulting with professionals in finance, marketing, social media, e-commerce, management. If it's a business concern, we have a consultant for you. Our contact information is on the screen, and I'll put it in the chat box as well in a little bit. I would like to thank Denise Ravel for presenting today. Denise has a BS in Business Administration with an emphasis in finance. Her experience includes almost 2 decades as an IRS auditor and Colorado CPA with additional experience as a tax preparer. Since moving to California, she's earned her registration as a California tax preparer and QuickBooks expert and online pro advisor. She offers the perfect combination of professional experience and small business understanding to be a real asset to entrepreneurs and small businesses looking for better understanding of their financial future. Denise is a recent graduate of our entrepreneurial training class. So while she has a lot of experience as a CPA, she had not been a business owner. So she is now. So if you're interested in that class, we will talk about that at the end. So let's see. Denise recently completed, I mentioned that. All right, so before we get started, let's do a few housekeeping items. Please limit your distractions and mute your phone. We'll be taking questions in the chat box, so go ahead and type them in as you think of them, and then she will get to them throughout the presentation. This webinar is being recorded, and a link will be provided to you once the recording is processed. So just to get a little sense of how you heard about us, I'm going to launch a 30-second poll. So go ahead and take 30 seconds to answer that, please. Thank you so much. It looks like most of you, over half of you, saw it in the newsletter. Thanks so much for doing that. So without further ado, I'm going to give you Denise.
Hello. Thank you for that wonderful introduction, Barbara. Yes, welcome to the second part of the bookkeeping series. We're going to go into 2 different QuickBooks programs today. This is going to be live. We're going to go into QuickBooks Self-Employed and QuickBooks Plus and do a few transactions and look at the tax report in QuickBooks Self-Employed. And then in Plus, we're going to enter invoices, pay them, enter sales receipts. We're going to enter expenses and bills and pay the bill and look at the accounts receivable and accounts payable reports. And we'll look at how to pay sales tax. Those are the key items that you might want to remember. They are on the weekly list of tasks, weekly accounting tasks that we discussed last week. So, and when I say you in this presentation, I mean you participants. When I say we, I mean you and me, because we're going through the software together. And this presentation is for bookkeepers, mainly, primarily. And as Barb said, if you do have questions, then just put them in the chat box and I'll try to answer them as we go along. So now you're looking, can everyone see the screen? Barb?
Yep, I'm seeing it.
All right, so this is QuickBooks Self-Employed. It's single entry accounting. And this is the home page. You would enter information in the gear about your business and link your bank account here. We're just going to go straight into transactions. I have entered these manually because I set this subscription up just for this class, but I don't have a bank account to link to it. So I manually entered these. So you'll see these tabs: connect account, add transaction, add receipt. We're going to add some transactions. So you enter description here. And as I said, it's good to have as much detail as you can to jog your memory. So we're going to enter a sales. And we're going to enter $10,000. Hopefully that's 10,000. It's not, that's fine. Then you just tab over to, or put your cursor over there, select a category and search all categories. That's the fastest way to do it. I'm going to put in sales, but it doesn't have sales as a category, but it has income. And then click save. So you see it has added that transaction and put that comma in. That's nice. All right, so we're going to add another transaction. This is going to be a cookbook. I did consult with a lady who had a cooking service, and so I wanted to do this for her. Roxanne, if you're out there, this webinar is for you. So then we select a category, and I know this one. Materials and supplies. So we're going to click that and save. Now, so if you had a bank load hooked up to this, all these transactions would be here, and all you would have to do is select the appropriate category. It's so quick and easy, really. But since I had to manually add these because I have no linked bank account, that's what it looks like. So I wanted to take you to this feature because often when people are starting a business, they don't know what expenses they will have. So QuickBooks is so helpful. I mean, this is geared towards preparing your tax return on TurboTax, but you'll be able to print off this report and prepare it using TaxWise, take it to your tax preparer, whatever you want. But anyway, this would be helpful for budgeting. See, down here, it says your industry deductions. Saving on taxes means knowing what common deductions are in your industry. So see the full list. And I thought this was wonderful because I'm going to be teaching a segment on budgeting. And so this would totally help you. So here you just enter or select your list. If you click the drop down, see it's got all these: accounting, advertising. So I'm going down to cooking because that's what Roxanne does, cooking services. And then we scroll down more and look at this. Under supplies, typical expenses, cookbooks, cooking equipment, food costs, hygiene supplies. All these are deductible. advertising. I thought this was interesting. Business cards, websites, online ads. All those are wonderful. So now we will go to the report and I will show you under tax summary, shows your taxable business profit minus income deductions and totals for Schedule C. This is the report you would use to have your taxes prepared. Total income, Schedule C deductions. Wow, you're going to pay a lot of self-employment tax. I'm just kidding. That means your business is prosperous. No, but anyway, so I already entered this equipment and lease, like if you rent a copy machine or whatever. Legal and professional services if you have an accountant or your tax preparer. Materials and supplies. There's that cookbook. Rent, this is like if you rent a shop. The only thing that this will not contain, and remember last presentation we talked about items that need to be depreciated. Well, I added a couple in the manual transactions and they are showing up down here. So there is no deduction for them shown on that expense section. They are down here. But you know, this is good because anyway, you would most typically take bonus depreciation, which means you would get the whole amount off, $800 more deductions. So this number here is not actually correct because when you have your taxes prepared, you're going to have more deductions here. But anyway, if you give this all pages to your tax preparer, they will know that they need to report the depreciable items on the appropriate tax form. And down here you have a home office deduction. If you use it exclusively for business, and that's your only place of business, your home, you get a deduction for that on your Schedule C. Any questions about QuickBooks Self-Employed? You can put your question in the chat box.
We don't have any currently in there. Somebody asked about the budgeting that you mentioned, and I told her you'd be teaching that in the class, but that's the only question so far. You're doing great.
Okay, thank you. Now we are in the sample company, Craig's Design and Landscaping Services. As far as the budgeting goes, I'm not sure which subscription you need to get that budgeting feature, but since you asked the question, this gear icon over here, if you go down under tools, bingo, budgeting. Wow, add your first budget. Oh yeah, this QuickBooks software is fantastic. I mean, Wave is free, but it doesn't have these wonderful features. And the cheapest one subscription you can get is QuickBooks Simple Start. So I'm going to ask someone if that does contain a budgeting section, because that would help you immensely. Okay.
Denise, do you have any idea what the base price is for QuickBooks? If you get that.
Simple Start is $25 a month.
Okay.
But usually you get 3 months at 50%, and then it goes up. This QuickBooks Self-Employed is $15 a month, but you get the 50% discount, so then it's like $750 a month for the first 3 months. Sometimes they have sales, so I would check those. The only thing about the QuickBooks Self-Employed, you cannot later upgrade with that one, but the other ones you can, like Simple Start. You could upgrade that if you wanted to.
Okay, and it saves you money. If it saves you money on taxes, it's worth it.
Oh, totally. It just makes accounting for your business and taxes a breeze. So anyway, now we're going to create an invoice in this sample company. So you go on the left navigation bar, you go click on sales, click on invoices, go over to create an invoice. And this is for accounts receivable only, if you want to track accounts receivable. So we're just going to select the first customer, Amy's Bird Sanctuary, and we're going to say 15 days, net 15 days, and the invoice date. I'm leaving today so we can find it in the reports. And for this one, I want to make sales tax generate on this, so I'm just picking concrete, and I'm going to say $300. And it has California sales tax rate right there, so it added $24 for the sales tax. So we just save this one. And notice this receive button here. It is critical. If you are entering invoices and you receive payment, you must use this receive payment. Well, not this one. I'm going to show you another place where you go to receive payment. That will reduce your accounts receivable, and it will show that this customer paid. So you must use, if you issue an invoice, you must, when you receive the payment, use receive payment. So we're going to create another invoice for $300. We're going to just select the Birds Bills Windsurf Shop. Again, I'm going to say 15 days. Leave the invoice date the same. And Craig is going to do more concrete for this business. I'm going to say $300 again. And sales tax, I select California. Save. Now, weekly accounting duty that we discussed last time was issue your invoices and review your bills. But okay, so now in the left navigation bar, you go down to reports. I want to show you accounts receivable. And the fastest way to find that report, again, is just to start typing in there. And I want the accounts receivable aging detail. It's going to show me the invoices, show us the invoices we just entered. So we scroll down to the bottom for the current, 1 to 30 current. Okay, look for today's date, 2/9. Amy's Bird Sanctuary, Bill's Windsurf Shop, $324. Because, I mean, the sale is only $300, but we need to collect that sales tax and pay it over to the state of California. Now we're going to go back in, we're going to receive payments, and then we're going to come back to this report again and note if there's any difference. Actually, there is going to be a difference because these two will no longer be there. So that's how you keep your ending balance of your accounts receivable correct. All right, so this new button in the left navigation bar, this is where you go to create all your transactions. So right under invoice is receive payment. Click on it. So here we go. Find our customer, Amy's Bird Sanctuary. And note what I've told you about using undeposited funds. That is so you can, when you're looking at the bank download, you'll be able to find this customer and credit the correct invoice. So anyway, here is the invoice right here. You can tell by the date, today's date. And if you click this button, then the payment shows up over here. So we're going to save and close. Again, we're going to new, receive payment. Our customer we know is the second one down. Bill's Windsurf Shop, today's date. Oh, you should put in the payment method. I'll just say check. Again, deposit to undeposited funds, and I will show you in a few minutes why. Okay, so due date, well, I'm just going by the original amount. We know it's that much. I click it there. It puts the amount over here under payment, save and close. Now let's go back to the accounts receivable report. Again, search for it. Accounts receivable aging detail. Scroll down to current. It is no longer there. Yep, gone. You must, if you issue an invoice, I'll say it again, you must receive payment to keep your accounts receivable accurate. Otherwise, you're going to double count your income. I mean, you're going to duplicate your income and your accounts receivable balance will be off. You definitely do not want that. Okay, next, we are going to sales receipt. That's a cash payment and they pay you right away. So you don't have to worry about receive payment or anything like that. It's just a cash payment, very clean. So you go to, all right, we go to new. That's the fastest way. Sales receipt. All right, we're picking a customer. We'll go to cool cars. Receipt date, cool cars. Payment method, we will say cash. Again, deposit to undeposited funds. This makes it so much easier for if you get a lump deposit, you know, of 5 different payments, it's going to be very difficult for you to identify what customer that is. So yes, deposit it to undeposited funds. And I'll show you why in a little bit. Okay, so we're just going to say design services here. So no sales tax is charged. We will say, I'm going to say 200, just so I can find it easily. And there again, you only charge sales tax for products, not services. And this is a service, so no sales tax is charged. Save. Okay, can go back. New sales receipt. Here's our screen. We're going to go down to Duke's basketball camp. Today's date. Payment method, we'll say cash. Again, it goes to undeposited funds. It is going to be design services, so we don't charge sales tax. Our rate is going to be 200. no sales tax, save. Now, I'm going to go to reports. I want to show you just the profit and loss detail. So you will see that all of these income items that we just entered, the receipts, the invoices and the sales receipt are both. Okay, so here's our design income, sales receipt, $200. Cool Cars, Duke's basketball camp, 2.9, sales receipt. Okay, now for the other one, it was concrete, so we have to scroll down. And there's another bar in here because some of these reports get really large. So we're looking for 2.9. Total for income. Does anybody see it? 2.9. Okay. Don't know why. There it is. No. Yeah, there it is. Yep, there's and it shows accounts receivable. And Amy's Bird Sanctuary and the $300. So this is your profit loss. So you can see that accounts receivable and sales receipt both show up on your profit and loss. Okay, so I'm going to show you about the undeposited funds now. You need to click on the left navigation bar, new, go over to bank deposit under other. And see, there is our payment. There are our 2 accounts receivable payments. And there are the Cool Cars and Duke's baseball camp. And so I'm going to say check, cash, save. So these 2 are still in undeposited funds. But you know what? Other ways you can just go in undeposited funds. Oh well. We're just going to go on. I just wanted to show you how those got into your bank account, but that would show up in the balance sheet detail. So now accounts receivable, it was credited there. Oh, here's undeposited funds. Yeah, so it was credited there. So that's where they went into undeposited funds, and here's where they went out. So, all right, now we're going to go on to expenses. This is a rule of thumb is if you receive a bill and you're going to pay it right away, do not enter it into bills. Just use expense. So, and you could print checks too from this screen. So this is just simplest way to do it. If you're if you're not going to pay the bill. I mean, if you are going to pay the bill right away, use expense. So we'll go to new transaction and click expense. We're going to say Bob's Burger Joint. Select the vendor. Checking. Today's date, 2/9. Check. Category. Well, Bob's Burger Joint. Surely that would be meals. So I start typing it in. There's meals and entertainment. For the description, I'm going to say sales, conference, luncheon. And I'm going to say $400. There's no tax. I mean, we received, well, we didn't, well, we did. We got a bill from Bob's Burger Joint. But since we're going to pay it right away, we're going to enter the transaction as expense. Okay, save. The expense is saved. New, we're going to enter another expense. Vendors, expense. So we are going to go to Books by Bessie, who is the accountant. She sent us a bill, but we always pay her right away. So we will say accounting. Oops. Oh, there it is. Okay, and now we're going to say, $400, which is pricey. I wouldn't go to her if I were you. All right, so we'll go back, left navigation bar, go down to reports, profit and loss detail. I just want to show you these expenses, although they're going to be in different places. But they will be on your profit and loss, and they're not going to be in accounts payable because you did not enter a bill because you paid it right away as soon as you got the bill. Ugh. It's hard to scroll down on these. Expenses, advertising, fuel. Plants and soil. Accounting. There's our expense. Books by Debbie. $400. Today's date. And the other one was for meals. Meals and entertainment. There is our expense on 2/9. Bob's Burger Joint, $400. So there it's recorded. You get a deduction on your taxes for that. All right, now we're going to go into the difficult one that will generate your accounts payable. I mean, it's not that difficult, but you just have an extra step. You've got to follow the correct procedure to pay it, to make sure your accounts payable balance is correct. So there's bill. And we are going to do to Cal Telephone. And no, we're not going to say due on receipt. We're going to, because we're going to pay this one in a month. But I'm going to say 15 days. So remember our date, 2/9/224. Utilities telephone. QuickBooks is so smart. If you do the same transaction time after time, it just automatically puts the correct category in there for you. It's so quick. Amount, $56.50. I'm going to change that amount if I can. Yeah, good. I'm going to say $150. Save. Another bill. Let's create another bill. It's under vendors bill. I'm going to use the same one just so we, well, no, I'll say, let's see. Chin's Gas and Oil. Terms. Net 30. I'm going to say net 15. 2/9/224 are the dates so we can find it. This, I would say, fuel. Amount, I'm going to say 150. No tax on that, of course, so save. Now let's go back to the left navigation bar down to reports. Now this, remember I said this generated accounts payable? Okay, so accounts payable, aging detail. There we go. There are our current two bills. There's that Cal telephone, $150. Chin's Gas and Oil, $150. Now we will go back and pay that bill and come back and look at this accounts payable report, and they will not be there anymore. Okay, new. So you go under vendors. I think this is nice too. This column is all for customers. This column is all for vendors. So pay bills. I'm gonna say checking. I like debit card actually. That's how I pay my bills. So payment date. Okay, now let's go down to Cal Telephone. We're gonna pay them both today. I mean, you'll have to write the check separately, but just to record the transaction, just check those two boxes and you'll see 2/24, the due date, the 150, and then we're down here, we're gonna use the drop down and change it to save and close. We're going to go to reports now and see if those two bills are still on our accounts payable report. Payable aging detail. You need the detail so you can see the vendor or the customer, in this case, vendor. Oh, I sometimes wonder if oh, yeah, they're not here. That's right, because we use the correct procedure and they are no longer on your accounts payable report. This accounts payable balance is correct. So now we are going to go into, we're going to go into taxes. I'll show you how to pay your sales tax. This keeps doing this because this is a sample company used for training purposes. You get to use QuickBooks Online for training purposes today. So here is, we're going to say the start is February. So here are our 2 transactions for the $300 in sales plus the $24 each for a total of $48. Shows it right here. And if you've had so many transactions you can't distinguish what, make sure it's correct, you can look at these reports over here. Well, view sales tax liability report or view taxable customer report. So anyway, you just click on record tax payment. It says the date, here's the amount. You could print a check, enter a note, record tax payment. Okay, now. So I've got, oh, banking. Yeah, we wanted to go there. This is a wondrous feature. If you never entered any accounts receivable or accounts payable, you could just do it all with sales receipts and expenses, or you could just go to your bank download and just classify these items directly from the bank download. So you want to click on this description. Well, you want to make sure that you have as much information in this column as possible. And this one you can click it too. Yeah, you want it to find matches. You want all the names here. And you want all the matches because QuickBooks automatically searches for matches. If you enter an invoice, if you enter a bill, you want the match. It will match it up for you. If not, if you did not enter an expense or a bill, it will or an invoice, it will show up as add. So that's how you know. So anyway, let's look at this. Travis Waldron, payment. We didn't enter this. And oh, it was received, payment received, match. In the sample company, somebody entered an invoice. So it found the match. And you can show it's under the receive column. So that's money coming in. Money going out or expenses would be under this column. So it found the match. The date is correct. The amount is correct. And the payee is correct. So you would just click match. Now, Tim's Masonry, it says uncategorized expense. We could click on that. I would say that would be, I would not leave anything as uncategorized. That's the whole point, coding or categorizing everything in the proper account. I would say that would be, I would say repairs and maintenance, maintenance and repairs. Now don't do landscaping services because that, see, it says it's a sub-account of job materials. Don't select that one. You want the one that says it is an expense. And where is that? Equipment repairs, building repairs. There, I would say it was a building repair, maintenance and repair. So then you would add that one. Does anybody have any questions in the chat box?
Nope, doing good.
I hope I'm not moving too quickly. It's just, I had to get through all these transactions. Oh, I wanted to show you the chart of accounts. So you can go to accounts, chart of accounts, and see if you do purchase a subscription to QuickBooks Online, don't worry about the accounts. Don't worry about setting up your accounts because they will just automatically, the subscription will automatically come with all these wonderful accounts. You can add more, but these are just the most basic, most widely used accounts. This is checking, savings, accounts receivable, inventory. If you use inventory, other current and undeposited funds, accumulated depreciation for your assets that are depreciated, your payables, sales tax payable here, loan payable, if you got a PPP loan or something. You can view the register. And these are all the transactions that have taken place in your bank account. Oh, another key thing I must tell you, users of accounting software, or you must reconcile your bank account every month. And it is really easy. If you haven't done it in 4 years, in fact, that does happen. If you're not really, if you don't know that much about accounting and you just start using it, you don't realize you should reconcile your bank accounts every month. You get your bank statement, you look at the ending. I'm going to go to that screen. Get started. Okay, so you select the account. And I have a friend that's a professional bookkeeper for, like 5 different restaurants. She reconciles every single account. And that is, if you want to make sure your balance sheet is totally 100%, you would do that. You just have to make sure all those transactions are in there and correct. See, you could pick any of these accounts, including equity, which is the owner infusion. But anyway, probably most people would do the bank reconciliation. So this beginning balance is just the beginning balance. Okay, say you received your January 31st bank statement, your bank statement for January, and the ending date is January 31st, 2021. This will be the beginning, this should be the beginning balance on that bank statement. All you do is look at that bank statement, put in the end of that month and the ending balance, which is on your bank statement. And then you start reconciling. I don't know what it is. I'm going to just plug a number in here and see what happens. I don't know if this will work or not, actually. Oh, wow, look at that. Oh. This is what will come up. Oh, we have a big difference here. All right, now see over here? If you just click these off, that's what you do. But I mean, you look on your bank statement and all the income and all the expenses, you just start clicking them off in QuickBooks. Uh-oh, our difference is getting worse. Well, that's because I don't really know what the difference, but it won't get worse for you. You want this difference to say 0. That's perfection. 0. That means your QuickBook balance is the same as your bank balance. That is perfection. You don't get any better than that. So does anybody have any questions on this? I mean, I loved having you attend. It looked like fewer people attended this time, but to me, this is the fun presentation.
I can tell you're having fun, Denise. We don't have any questions in the chat box right now.
Okay, well, did you have any ending comment? I just want to say, if anybody wants a free one-on-one consultation with me about accounting or tax, just contact Barb and she will set it up for you. So Barb, did you have any ending comments?
Yes, I did. Thank you so much for presenting that, Denise. QuickBooks really is a great tool if you learn how to use it. So if you would like more assistance from Denise or any of our consultants, please let us know. Our contact information is on the screen. I also wanted to let you know about a couple classes we have coming up. We have search engine optimization. That's being presented by Steve Burnside from Clever Ducks. He's also presenting Grow Your Business with Google AdWords. He's an entertaining presenter, I have to say. He's a live wire. Then we also have an entrepreneurial training class, which has week 2 starting today. That's the one that Denise took. If you're desperate to get in that and you really want to get in this class, please give me a call today and we can get you signed up for that. It's okay to miss the first class and it is recorded. Otherwise, we do offer them every few months. And then we have the same thing in Spanish. That's Empezando Entrepreneurial Training Class. That one is actually twice a week for 10 sessions, and that one starts on the 22nd. So we thank you for coming. We look forward to seeing you again, and have a great day, everyone. Bye.
Bye. Thank you for coming.